The sky's gray, it's like this every day. The town is full of predator, don't turn a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
Fisk unit. Soldier. Fisk unit. Soldier. Fisk unit. Soldier. What's good, y'all? Fisk Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fisk unit while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's ride. Listen, hit that sub button. You understand me? Hit the sub button, join this Fisk unit army, and get Fisk unit tough. We on the road to 6K. You understand? Hit the freaking sub button. You know what? In honor of Father's Day, I'm gonna try and get through this entire video without cursing. Y'all think I can do it? I'm gonna try and record this video without cursing in honor of Father's Day. So hit the freaking sub button. You on the freaking stand me? I want 6,000 freaking subscribers by freaking week 1, or we got a freaking problem. All jokes aside though, happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there, man. This is your day. You know what I'm saying? This is your day. Happy Father's Day. And I hope Tom Brady calls Eli Manning and wishes him happy Father's Day. That's what all good sons should do. We all know who Tom Brady daddy is. I know, look, I know it's rare I say nice things about Eli Manning, but he is Tom Brady daddy. He Tom Brady's pawpaw. That he really is, bro. I mean, it's like when Eli Manning go into a room to Tom Brady and, you know, he tap him on the head a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He give him a little pep talk. You feel me? Give him a little tap on the butt, tell him good job. Keep up the good work. But listen, this video is about Daniel Jones. Alright, this is what this video is about. So normally when I record a Daniel Jones video, I'm defending Daniel Jones. Somebody that says something spicy, somebody that done something disrespectful, like those pussies at Barstool who, you know, damn, is pussy a curse word? Whatever. But you know, the last time we had Daniel Jones news, those people at Barstool kind of doctored a Kadarius Toney video. So they made a meme out of a video. The gunner machine was messed up. It was throwing balls on the ground, and they said Kadarius Toney is practicing for those Daniel Jones passes. You know what I'm saying? They found a way to make fun of Daniel Jones. But today it's not about that. I spared Barstool. I was busy. NBA playoffs is going on. I was busy. But today is a rare occurrence because Daniel Jones is in the news for good reasons. So PFF said that Daniel Jones is the second worst wide receiver in completion rate. What that means, okay, because let me break this down for y'all. So basically, Daniel Jones was harmed the second worst in all of football by wide receivers not making plays. So basically what they're saying, what PFF is saying is like they didn't just factor in drops. So what they did was, here's an explanation, and I quote, "It's easy to look at how many passes a quarterback lost to receiver drops, but at PFF we collect a wide variety of incompletion types and separate them into buckets of fault. We have 6 additional receiver incompletion types, in addition to drop passes, each of which can cost the quarterback an incompletion and the corresponding yardage and a potential score." So it goes Daniel Jones, then it goes Mike Glennon, and then it goes Zach Wilson. But if you take away Mike Glennon, because he didn't throw, 300, he didn't have 300 attempts, it's Daniel Jones, and then it's Mike Glennon is the worst. So I'm not Mike Glennon, Zach Wilson. So if you just let Daniel Jones play the rest of the season out instead of Mike Glennon, then Daniel Jones would have had the worst wide receiver incompletion rate in the league. All right. So What I'm trying to say is, it's not about the drops. It also factors in separation. You feel me? It factors in separation. It factors in wide receivers not making plays. So PFF is factoring in how good of a route runner you are, and PFF also factors in balls that you should have came down with. So it's not a situation where Fitz Vegas is crying about Darius Slayton bum ass dropping balls, Evan Ingram bum ass dropping balls. Giants receivers couldn't even separate last year. There's no separation. So the margin for error for Daniel Jones and Mike Glennon was 0 to none because they're not being helped by the receivers on the outside. And I've said this time and time and time again. How much differently do we look at Daniel Jones if Evan Ingram catches that ball versus the Eagles? How much differently do we look at Daniel Jones if Darius Slayton catches that ball versus Washington? When you look at Daniel Jones, right? He had that great comeback win versus Tampa Bay. The first picture you're going to put of Daniel Jones is him running into the end zone his first start versus Tampa Bay. And then if you throw in that clutch play he made to Evan Ingram in Philly, you throw in that clutch play he made in Washington on Thursday Night Football, you throw in the game-winning touchdown he threw versus Washington his rookie year in overtime, Daniel Jones would have about a good 5 game-defining plays in his repertoire that people would look at him differently. They would say, yo, Daniel Jones gets it done when it matters. Daniel Jones can carry a team. He can make the plays to win you games. We would look at him differently if those games had been won. You feel me? Hell, I'll throw in the Adoree Jackson thing. When he trucks Grady Jarrett in Atlanta for the 2-point conversion, a couple plays later, Adoree Jackson drops the game-winning interception. So I'm looking at Daniel Jones, I'm like, how much differently will we look at him if his wide receivers and his tight ends made more plays for him? Mario Manningham ain't that good, but he made that play for Eli in the Super Bowl. David Tyree got cut, never played another fucking game for the Giants, but he damn sure made that helmet catch in the Super Bowl to help out Eli Manning. Daniel Jones hasn't received that same amount of help from his wide receiving core since he's been in the league, and I'm glad PFF has crunched the numbers to verify what I've been preaching to y'all for the past 2 years. Because when I look at Daniel Jones, I'm like, well, damn. His play is better than the numbers, because I'm like, well, if we grade Daniel Jones on the Eli Manning curve, and what I mean by the Eli Manning curve is you can suck all you want to as long as you show up when it matters, then Daniel Jones should have went to the playoffs 2 years ago. And then last year, we really should have started, because if you look at it, he had the 10-point comeback win, right? We were down 10 points in New Orleans in the fourth. Yo, Daniel Jones is the shit. So peak game. How much differently are we looking at Daniel Jones if he goes to the playoffs 2 years ago, right? Because he should have went to the playoffs if it wasn't for the Eagles. Okay? We start the season. We lose to Denver. How much different are we looking at the Giants if Adoree Jackson catches the ball versus Atlanta? That's a win. Darius Slayton catches the ball versus Washington. That's a win. And then he still beats New Orleans. That's 3-1 to start the season. And don't forget, we put hands on the Panthers. The Giants could have potentially been like 4-1 to open the season. You got to put this in context. So it's like, and that's with sorry ass Joe Judge as the head coach. So have a little more faith in Daniel Jones going into next season, because it's not really been his fault why we've been bad. Like, Daniel Jones has been carrying the worst wide receiver core in the league since he's got here. He's been carrying one of the worst rosters in the league since he's gotten here. Like, the Giants have the worst record in football since the boat trip. That's not fiction. That's not innuendo. That's pure facts. Since the boat trip, we got the worst record in the league. So I'm glad PFF put this article out to validate some of the reasons why Daniel Jones isn't successful. Because 9 out of 10 times, nobody can actually sit here and tell you why they think Daniel Jones sucks. They just say Daniel Jones sucks because it's the cool thing to say. But anybody who watches Daniel Jones play every Sunday, you know he's not bad. It really just comes down to he has no help. Everybody needs help. Tom Brady left Bill Belichick so he could go throw to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown in Tampa. Because Julian Edelman and Jacoby Myers and fucking Philip Dorsett wasn't going to cut the mustard. Every quarterback needs help. Russell Wilson goes to Denver so he can get more help. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and Javonte, like he wants that help. I hope Daniel Jones gets the help he deserves next season. And that's it, that's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.